Hello students, today we're going to start our area project where we're going to test your knowledge on how to find two-dimensional area of polygons and circles. Okay, this is a placement of a written test. Our project is going to ask you to make a mosaic or a stained glass that includes quadrilaterals, triangles, and circles. Your picture must include the following requirements. Required shapes must be incorporated in the drawing: 3 quadrilaterals, 3 triangles, and 3 circles. Required shapes must be labeled, at least on the draft and work shown in space. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. The entire picture must be colored and using a minimum of 5 colors. The sum of all the areas of your required shapes must be at least 80 square units. Drawing must be neat, completed on grid paper or transparency, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. After you turn in your project, leave 1 Oreo cookie reflection on your classmates' work. Looking at the rubric here, okay, it's worth 30 points total. Okay, the first section is about the 9 required shapes. There's 4 points that you can earn here. 4 points if you have your 9 required shapes. Looking at the next row, finding the area of your quadrilaterals. Okay, each of these sections here is doubled in points. So your area quadrilateral is worth 6 points. So all the areas are calculated correctly and your work is shown. That's the same for the triangles and circles. If you look there closely at the area of the circles, you're able to get 2 extra credit points if you do 4 circles and find the areas correctly. Make sure you have your areas labeled correctly. That is worth 3 points. Neatness, worth 2 points. Completely needed on graph paper. Make sure it has straight lines, okay, and we see that you put some effort into your drawing. Creativity, planning is evident, at least 5 colors included, and your whole picture is colored. That is worth 3 points. To have future reference of this rubric, this is also located in Schoology, which we'll show you here in a little bit. Here's an example of our works cited page. Okay, you're given 3 blanks here to work out your 3 different quadrilaterals. Make sure you show all your work. Make sure you have the formula written down that you're using and your answers labeled correctly with the correct units. Okay, same for your triangles and for your circles. Here's our grid paper that you'll be provided to use to create your image. Okay, when we talk about creativity, we talk about using up the whole thing. Okay, so try to fill in most of the grid paper. Remember, you have to have a total of 9 or 80 units when we add up those 9 shapes. Okay, a great way to do that is to make sure you use up the entire grid paper. Here are some examples of stained art or mosaics. Okay, you can kind of see how they use the different shapes that were being asked you to use. Here is some students' work that they did. Okay, one kind of made like a living room scene at Christmas time, and the other student kind of did an ocean thing. Okay, each of these students received full credit based on them finding their areas correctly. Okay, they each had their 9 required shapes. It's evident that they used 5 different colors, and also they put some thought into it, and it's kind of an original thought. Here's another example. This student only lost a point because the whole image was not colored. Okay, but overall they did a pretty well job. Okay, so make sure to get full credit. The one piece of advice I would have for this student is to make sure you have those blank areas at least shaded in with some color, not just leaving them blank or white. Okay, so kind of looking at what we can do. Your stained glass picture can be something that interests you. Make sure it's school appropriate. Some ideas for getting started. Okay, you can kind of think about landscapes, ecosystem, music, sports, okay, and also the different seasons that we have. If you'd like to collaborate with a partner to create this complementary piece, okay, make sure you talk to me before you start so I can okay it. Remember, each person has to turn in their own work in their own areas, okay? So if you work with a partner, you can't turn in the same 9 shapes. Each person needs to turn in 9 different shapes, so really you need a total of 18. 15 shapes. Okay, so once again, if you'd like to work with one of your classmates, just make sure you talk to me before you get started. Okay, so project pacing today, Thursday. Okay, know the topic of your picture. Okay, and get your picture started on your grid paper. Tomorrow, the picture should be pretty much done. Okay, areas are calculated. Make sure you have them answered and all your work is shown. Okay, and start working on an Oreo cookie reflection. And this assignment is due Monday, okay, for 11 at the end of class. Okay, so we're going to give you these 3 days to work on it and plus over the weekend. So make sure we are getting this work done and completed and turned in on time. So we're going to take a quick look at Schoology. I'm going to show you where all this stuff is. So make sure if you go to courses, click on math up here, okay, and then click on the folder that says area project. Inside the folder right away, you'll see the different requirements once again that we just discussed. Okay, it gives us the different examples that we could use just to kind of have a refresher. It has our pacing that we should be looking for to make sure we're getting done on time. And here's our 2 different things that we can use to create our work. Okay, you can open the area project one in Word. Okay, you can insert text boxes and type in there, or you can draw. Okay, and you can also use the drawing tool to help you create your photo. Or if you prefer to use PowerPoint, okay, you can do the same thing there. If you have a different app or website that you like to use to create this, okay, just make sure you clear it through me so I can make sure it's going to work for our project. To turn in your project, okay, you're going to turn it right here where it says area project turned in. Just click on there, submit it, and make sure you submit the correct folder. Okay, remember when you make sure you submit the correct thing, okay, please open it back up, your submission, so you know that you turned in the right document. Okay, make sure we're not turning in our language arts document or a blank document. I want to be able to give you guys points and see the creativity you guys have done for this project. And your Oreo reflection turn in right there. If you click in there and you need those directions on how to create Oreo reflection, there is those directions in that folder for you once again. Okay, so once again, this is our area project that we're going to be starting. Okay, this is a replacement of a written test to kind of make it a little bit more fun and to see your understanding on how to find area of 2-dimensional polygons and circles. If you have any questions, please email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have fun. I'm excited to see the work that you guys can create.